So this series, last series, we focused on the yamas. This series, we're going to focus on the niyamas, which are the ways that we naturally, as humans, can evolve towards harmony. And it's about accessing just our natural states that a lot of conditioning has kind of programmed us away from what is our natural state. And the beauty, there's just so much beauty in these teachings. So the first niyama is called Saucha. And what that sutra about Saucha says is through simplicity and refinement, which is what Saucha is, simplicity and refinement, the body, thoughts, and emotions become clear reflections of the self within. I love that. The body, the thoughts, and emotions. It speaks to the kind of interweaving of all of those. We say the issues are in the tissues. So when we have stuck emotions or thoughts, they live in our bodies. And one of the ways that we add complexity, we move away from simplicity, is by keeping emotional junk stuff around longer than it serves us. So negative emotions are something that we often carry around, ruminating over them for a while or justifying our position for something in a while. And doing that is just a way of keeping ourselves from accessing the simplicity of the strong self within. So we're going to start with a technique today that comes from HeartMath called Notice and Ease. And it's really about releasing and letting go of emotion. So the idea isn't that we deny that we have this full range of emotions that we have as humans. It's just that we don't hang out in them for a long time. One analogy is if you put your hand on a hot stove, that message of pain will tell you that this hurts, get it off there. And with negative emotions, it's like that. If we can just notice it and use that as a signal to do something different, super powerful. So come to lying on your back. Just come into your mat. I'm going to let somebody into the room. Come into your mat, just letting yourself settle in. And notice the whole back of your body, just connecting with the floor beneath you. Feel the back of your head and the back of your bones of your shoulders. And really connect to the feeling, the sense of your body connecting with the floor beneath you. And as you settle into that space, just begin to notice. Maybe bring to your mind any recurring negative emotion that's been with you over the last few days. And just bring it to your mind's eye. Just observing it like a witness. Bring your awareness to your breath as you hold the memory of that emotion. Then as you exhale your breath, just feel whatever that is, releasing through your back body into the surface beneath you. As you notice any negative emotion come up, just give it a name. You're just laying on your back. Give it a name. And as you exhale your breath, just release. You might imagine a smoky vapor exuding off your back body. Just feel yourself letting go. Now, as you inhale your breath, experience breath coming into your body through your heart. Just inhale, feel breath coming in through your heart. As you exhale, say the word ease as you release whatever that emotion is off the back body. Inhale, breath through the heart. Exhale, ease, soft, smoky vapor, releasing through the back body. And take 3 more focused breaths in that way, taking breath in through your heart. Exhaling the word ease, soft, smoky vapor off the back body. It's really releasing whatever you've been carrying around that doesn't serve you. Good. Now come more into an active recline Tadasana. So take the balls of your feet together, toes up. Reach your heels away from your hips. Snug your thighs firm. Press your palms to the floor and tuck your shoulder blades towards your spine so that the back of your shoulders touch. Inhale your breath and just feel the length from the heels to the crown of your head. Exhale, feel the heels to the shoulders, back of the head connecting. Good, and then inhale, take your arms overhead, hook your thumbs, and as you inhale your breath, just feel the length from the heels through your fingertips. As you exhale, feel the back of the body really connecting with ground. And take another inhale here, feel that length from heels to fingers. Exhale, feel that connection with ground. And then release your arms back by your sides. This is a subtle one. As you inhale your breath, your right heel is going to stay on the floor, but you're just going to scoot it a little longer than your left. And then as you exhale, bring it back to center. Inhale, reach the left heel further from the right. And as you exhale, back to center. And as you move in this way, feel what's happening in your pelvis, your low back. You don't want to strain. You don't want to overreach with the heel, but really connect into the subtle movement that's happening in your sacrum, your hips, your low back. So when we say the issues are in your tissues, just move with your breath. Emotions really take root in our hips. So we're moving into some hip releases here today. Now, next time you exhale, come back to center, bring your arms back overhead. And this time, as you inhale and reach your right heel away, reach your right arm, fingers away from your shoulder. So you feel the shoulder movement. And then as you exhale, come back and try that on the left side. So now as you move, as you inhale and reach right hand, right foot away from each other, you feel that right side of the body really opening. Exhale back to center. Same on the left. Move at your own pace, following your breath. And try one more on each side. Then come back to center. Release your arms by your sides. Bend your knees now, feet flat on the floor, ankles under your knees. And this time, as you inhale your breath, you're going to tuck your tailbone towards the floor so that your low back lifts. And as you exhale, scoop the tailbone towards the ceiling so the low back presses. Let your breath freely enter your body in and out through your nose. If you're congested, you can always exhale through your mouth. And again, tune in to the mobility here in your low back. As you inhale, tailbone to the floor, low back arches. And as you exhale, tailbone to the ceiling, low back presses. Do one more like that. Just moving at your pace with your breath. And then come back into neutral. Bring your hands behind your head now. And cradle your head in the back of your hands. And this time as you inhale, take the tailbone down, press your elbows to the floor and let your head come back like in a little mini cobra. So you're gazing up at the ceiling. And then as you exhale, round the tailbone to the ceiling, elbows up. Inhale and open up, press your elbows, press your head, arch your neck a little bit. And as you exhale, and now as you move in this way, really tune in to the mobility in your whole spine. And just feel that connection from your sacrum all the way to your cranium, the top of your head. And then as you exhale, come down, stay there. With your spine neutral, press the back of your elbows to the floor and just feel your shoulder blades engage. And then exhale, release. Good. Now bend your knees, take your feet off the floor. As you exhale your breath, roll in, elbows towards your knees. This is effortless effort. Just inhale, come back down, feet to the floor, arch your low back, arch your cranium, press your elbows. That's an inhale. And as you exhale, bring everything together. So again, moving with your breath, no strain at all involved. Just tune into the subtle connection in your body between your breath and your body, your hips, the sacrum, and the back of your head. And come into that feeling of flow-like movement with breath and body. And now this time as you inhale, come only partway down so the hands and feet don't touch. And then as you exhale, come back up. Again, no strain at all. You're not yanking on anything. You're just tuning into the rhythmic movement of your body and breath. And that's the only thing. That's the only thing you're holding in your awareness. Letting go of any story or anything you might have been carrying before. You're just focusing on body, breath, integration. And try one more like that. Good, and then exhale, come all the way back down. And settle in here for a moment. And then release your arms, release your legs. Come back to Supta Tadasana, balls of your feet together, toes up, snug the thighs. Reach your fingers towards the heels, tuck your shoulders under. Inhale, arms overhead, hook your thumbs, reach again. And then exhale, draw your knees into your chest, snug in. And hands to the back of your thighs, cross your ankles, tuck your chin, roll on up, and come on over into all fours and into child pose. Reach your hips back, lift your head up for a moment, take your finger pads and press those down, press the heel of your hand down and just reach everything back. Let your forehead drop. As you press your hands down and in, feel the length in your arms, the length in your spine. And as you exhale, just feel your body settling in, whatever your child pose looks like. Your knees are tight, your hips might be a little high, that's okay. Just exhale and feel into your body, releasing anything that you can let go of. That would bring a little more ease to this pose. And then inhale, come on up to all fours, shoulders under, your wrists under your shoulders, tuck your toes, lift your hips and come into downward facing dog. Rocking way back on the balls of your feet, let your toes get light. Bend your right knee and reach that left heel and thigh back. And then alternately bend your knees. And as you do, notice, just notice what's going on in your hips with that subtle shift in balance in your legs. Good. Now reach both heels and thighs back evenly. Snug your thighs firm, your upper arms, muscles firm. Lift your arm bones up a little as you exhale. Let your chest go back towards your thighs a little bit. Take 3 breaths here, in and out through your nose if you're able. As you inhale, Just connect with length in your spine, lengthen your arms. As you exhale, connect with rooting the hands, reaching back through the heels and thighs. Good, and then inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, walk your feet forward to your hands. Take your feet hip distance and parallel. Hold your elbows and just let your body drape in. Press down through the heels. Really feel that connection. And bring your hands to your hips. Press the elbows back. Heart forward. Come on up. Take your time coming up. Inhale the arms overhead. Hook your thumbs here and reach up. As you exhale, feel the heels press, the balls of your feet press, and take the arm bones a little more back. Inhale, feel that long line from the heels through the tops of your fingertips. And then exhale, let your arms float back down by your sides. Bring your hands to your hips. Press the heels, a little micro bend in your knees. And just let your hips shift a little side to side. And then start to circle the hips. And as you circle the hips, just tune in, again, to the feeling between the front of your hip bones, the back of your sacrum, even the tailbone. Go the other way. Tuning into the fluidity or stickiness, whatever it is, just notice it. Don't worry about it, just notice it. And then come back to neutral. With your hands and your hips, connect, rooting down from the heels, or the hips rather, to the heels. Release your arms by your sides. Inhale, take your arms up, palms facing now. Reach the pinky side of your hand up, thumbs back. As you exhale, take the arm bones a little more back. Inhale, a little more reach through the top of your fingertips. Exhale, palms to the side, fold in. You can bring your hands to shins or blocks. And then inhale, come into a flat back position. Pausing here, lengthen your spine. So tailbone back, crown of your head forward. And as you exhale, let the elbows bend and fold in. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Good. Exhale, fold in, bend your knees, take your hands to your mat, step your feet back, and come into plank pose. Start with your hips a little higher than your shoulders. All your fingers spread, heel the hand connected. And then lower your hips below your shoulders and check in with yourself. If you need to put a knee on the ground, both knees rather, to feel more stable there, certainly do so. As you hold here, inhale, hug your arm muscles snug, lengthen your spine. Heels back, crown forward, just notice. And see if you can bring a little ease, whatever that means for you. Knees down, maybe softening the shoulders a little. Just bring a little more ease into the pose for you. Take one more lengthening in-breath. And then exhale, take your knees down and press back to child pose, big toes together. Lengthen the arm bones, reach the hips back, let your forehead rest. And find your breath here. Inhale, come back up to all fours, knees closer together. And then exhale, lower down to the floor. Anchor the tops of your feet down, hands by mid-chest. Coil the elbows back and inhale. Come into a cobra. Exhale, lower down. As you come up in cobra, really draw your elbows towards each other, shoulder blades in towards your spine and towards your hips. And exhale, come down. And then inhale, come up and hold it up. Keep the elbows in. As you exhale, soften the shoulders. Your next in-breath, take it from the belly. Your breath from the belly all the way up to your collarbones. As you hold and exhale, let the shoulder blades soften. Inhale from the belly to the top of the collarbones. Good, and then exhale, lower back down. And tuck your toes, come back up to your hands and knees. Spread the fingers and come back into downward facing dog, feet hip distance. Take a glance at your knees. So if they tend to knock in,
Hug your thigh muscles firm and spin the upper inner thighs back and wide so that when you look at your knees, they're pretty much lined up with your ankles and your toes. Good. And then press the hands, the knuckle pads of your index finger, the heel of your hand, and stretch the arms long. Exhale, reach the heels and thighs back. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, walk your feet again forward. Either hold your elbows, rest your hands on your blocks to the floor. Bring the tip of your head towards the floor. Good. And then shift your weight back so your hips go a little behind your heels. Shift your weight forward so your weight goes onto your toes. And then land right there in the middle. Anchor the balls, the heels down, crown your head down. Draw your shoulder blades towards your hips. And feel as you exhale from the hips to your heels, energy really connecting with ground. That's your channel for releasing whatever would be helpful for you to let go of. Just release it to ground. Bring your hands to your hips, take the elbows back. Inhale, come up. Bring your arms overhead. Once again, hook your thumbs, lengthen from the heels to the fingers. Exhale, take the arm bones and thigh bones back. Good, and then release the arms down. Next series, we're going to do a kneeling or a low lunge. So if it's helpful for you in a lunge to have your hands on blocks, you can have those right there by your side. Bring your hands to your heart. Take your arm bones back. Inhale, your sternum to your thumbs. Exhale, shoulders down. Release the arms. Inhale, arms up, palms facing. Exhale, arms to the side, fold in, hands to shins or blocks, and blocks can be here. Inhale, come back into flat back. Good. Exhale, as you fold in, take your right foot back, left knee over your ankle. Again, hands can be on the blocks or the floor. Either one is fine. Just be sure you have length in your spine. As you inhale from the back heel through the crown, lengthen. As you exhale, connect that front heel and back ball of the foot with ground. Take your left hand to your left hip, invite it back a little. Invite the crown forward a little bit. And as you exhale your breath, spin your belly, ribs, and chest. Inhale that left arm up. Exhale, reach it long by your ear. Reach through the fingers. Exhale, let the hips soften. Inhale, find length from the back heel through the front fingertips. Good. Exhale, release that hand down. Step back into plank pose. Hold steady. You can be on your toes, your knees. Find your breath, find length. Good. Exhale, drop the knees, lift your low belly, lower all the way down to the floor. Anchor the tops of the feet. Firm your thighs so your kneecaps lift. Coil the elbows in. Inhale the heart up. Once again, hold here as you exhale, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale a breath from your low belly all the way to the top of your sternum. Good. Exhale, lower down. And tuck your toes, come up to all fours, and then back into downward facing dog. Let your toes be light. You're reaching so far back with the heels and thighs. And then inhale your gaze forward. Exhale, take your right foot up between your hands. Knee over your ankle. So take a couple steps if you need. Reach that left heel back. And then come on up with your hands and your hips. Exhale, root the front foot, the back ball. Keep that back thigh really lifting up. Coil the elbows back and the heart up. Inhale from your low belly to the top of your collarbones. Exhale, root. Release the hands, palms forward. Inhale the arms up, palms facing. Exhale, feel from the center of your hips, at right in the middle of your pelvic body, your pelvic bowl, just ground towards earth. And then inhale, feel length along the spine, the arms, the stretch of the palms. Exhale, connect with that sense of ground. Release. Release the hands down. Lengthen the spine again, and then step that back foot forward and fold in. And feel that connection with the heels, the balls of the feet, a little light lift in your arch. Exhale, hands to your hips, take the elbows back. Take your time. Inhale, come on up. Once again, hook the thumbs. Exhale, arm bones and thigh bones back. Scoop the tailbone slightly down. Inhale, reach the fingers up. Exhale, float the arms back down, back to the heart. Release the arms. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold in, hands to shins or blocks. Inhale, come into a flat back. Exhale, fold in, take that left foot back. Again, use your blocks. That helps you. Knee over your ankle. Inhale, lengthen from the back heel through the crown of your head. Exhale, connect with ground. Find ease where you can. If that means putting your back knee down, put your back knee down. Take your right hand to your hip, coil the belly, ribs, and chest up. Inhale that top arm up. Exhale, take it long by your ear, reach from the back heel through the fingers. And find your breath. Good. Exhale, release that hand down. One more time, come into plank pose. Toes or knees. Find your breath, find your steady. From toes or knees, exhale, lower to ground. Root the tops of the feet, snug the thighs. Inhale into cobra, hold it up there. Exhale, drop the shoulders. Good. Inhale from the low belly. Lift up. Good. And then exhale and come back down. Tuck the toes, come back up to hands and knees. And then back into downward facing. Find your breath here. Again, let your toes get light. You're reaching so far back through the tops of your thighs and heels. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, left foot forward. Right inner thigh lift up and let your hips drop here. Good. Bring your hands to your hips. Anchor the front foot, the back foot. Coil the elbows back. Again, connect with the center of that pelvic bowl and just let it drop, release. So you can imagine energy just releasing from your hips to earth. And as you release and find ease in the pose, just kind of let go of anything that you can let go of that feels like it's blocking ease or blocking lightness in your body. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, arm bones back, reach through the fingers. Take a lengthening in breath here. And exhale, release down. And step your back foot forward and fold in. Take your palms to the back of your calves now. Shift your hips a little forward, elbows forward, point the crown of your head down so your neck is free. Good, and then as you exhale, take your hands to your hips, elbows back. Inhale, come all the way up. Hook your thumbs, exhale, take the arm bones, thigh bones back. Good, and then exhale. Release your arms down, hands to your heart. Good, release your arms down. Turn so that you can see me. You might put, if you're using a laptop, you might have to turn your mat, but I'm gonna face this direction and you're gonna have your blocks in the center here of your mat. So take your feet hip distance apart so that when you go like this and you look down, your ankles are under your wrists. Bring your hands to your hips. Press into your heels and coil the elbows back. As you exhale your breath, think about hips to heels to balls of the feet. Just really rooting there. Good. From the center of your pelvis, again, rooting straight down to earth.
And then spin your right foot out. So your knee goes the same way as your toes. As you exhale, bend that knee. You might need to slide the other foot back so your knee stays over your ankle. Just let it drop. Take your hand on your thigh bone, press downward, and just let it drop. Good. Take your forearm now on your thigh bone. And again, just let it drop. So connect dropping with softening there. Back leg stays engaged. Coil the heart up. Inhale that top arm long by your ear. From the back heel through the top fingers, find length. As you exhale, really connect hips to heels, ground, release. Find ease with your breath. And take another lengthening in-breath here. Exhale, connect the heels with earth. Inhale that top hand straight up, look at your thumb. And come all the way up. Spin both feet parallel, hook the thumbs, press the heels, inhale, lengthen. Good, exhale, release your hands to your hips. Wiggle, walk your feet in a little. Now spin both toes out. Both toes out. With your hands on your hips, start to bend your knees. Take your hands on your thighs again, not only to root the thighs down, but also if your knees spin in, use your hands. And just invite your knees out in the same direction as your toes. And then walk your hands up a little bit to lengthen your spine a little bit. Bring your arms up in goddess pose. Press the elbows back, lift the crown of your head up. Exhale, heels, pelvis rooting down to earth. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, ground, release, find ease. Inhale, straighten the legs, hook your thumbs, spin your feet parallel once again. Lengthen up. Exhale, release hands to hips. Palms in front of your thighs. Now press your thighs back and come forward. Bring your hands onto your blocks and come into a flat back, wide angle forward bend. Find length first from the tailbone through the crown of your head. Feel that length. Find ground, balls of the feet to heel connect. And then exhale, fold in, chest towards your thighs. You can take your blocks with you, or you can take your hands to the floor. Either way, fingers in line with your toes, elbows back, point the crown of your head down. And shift your weight a little forward so you really feel your hips are over your ankles. As you exhale, hips to heels, balls of the feet connect with ground. Just noticing what you're feeling and inviting in ease. Just ease as you hold the pose. Inhale, come back up into that flat back variation, spine long. And then exhale, hands to hips, elbows back, come on up. And spin your left foot out now. So your knee goes the same way as your toes, and then bend that knee. With your hand on the thigh bone, just invite a little more release, a little more downward movement, not ever forcing, just inviting. And then bring your forearm onto your leg and let it drop a little more. And take the elbow back. Inhale the arm up and exhale. Bring that arm long by your ear. And find your breath here, the lengthening in-breath from the back heel to the top hand. The sense of release, letting go again of anything that's not serving you in this moment. Not judging yourself for your pose, not judging anything, just breathing and being. As you exhale, connecting with ground, hips to heels. Inhale that top arm up, look at your thumb. And come all the way up, hook your thumb, spin your feet forward, reach up. Good, exhale, arm bones back, thighs back. Release your hands, once again, palms to the front of your thighs. Take the thigh bones back as you bend forward. Bring your hands onto your blocks. Inhale, lengthen. Good, and then exhale, fold in. Walk the hands back, fingers in line with your toes. Hug your thigh muscles snug, lift the inner thighs.
Feel that length in your leg bones. And then counter that as you exhale from your pelvic bowl to your heels. Just release, root, ground, and find ease with your breath in this pose. And come back up once again to a flat back. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, hands to your hips and come on up. And keep your hands on your hips here and spin your right foot out. In this position, just notice your center line. Right foot, left foot, press evenly. Keep your torso upright as you bend your knee. And again, as you bend, just find ease, opening, softness in the hips. It doesn't mean that maybe you only bend that far. That's okay. Find your way of kind of being stable here in this pose with a sense of ease. Just notice that. Bring your hands to your heart now. Lift your sternum to your thumbs. Inhale, take the arms long. Exhale, arm bones back as you turn and look over your front hand in warrior two. So any subtle adjustments at all that bring a little more ease without any sacrifice to stability here for you. Notice your breath as you inhale. Breath from your belly to your chest. As you exhale, softening in the hips, grounding in the feet. Take another in-breath here. And another out-breath. And spin your palms up. As you exhale, take the arm bones back. Inhale, gaze forward, arms overhead. Hook your thumbs, feet parallel. Rise up. Exhale, hands to your hips. Spin your left foot out. So take a moment here to get grounded. Front heel, back arch, line up. And then bend that knee. And keeping your torso upright. Maybe you got a little kink in there so you can bend and straighten a few times and then just settle in. Wherever you are is perfect. And as you exhale, again, connect with that grounding energy, a sense of release and ease. Inhale, hands to heart, lift your sternum to your thumbs. Exhale, shoulders back and down. Inhale, arms long, and turn your gaze over the front hand. Keep your arm muscles snug as you exhale. Draw those shoulder blades down from your ears, down towards your hips. Stay here with breath. Notice and ease. As you inhale, you're noticing your breath in your body. As you exhale, that sense of ease, like a soft, smoky vapor exuding off your back body or from your hips to your feet to earth, just releasing whatever's not serving in this moment. And take one more breath here. Spin the palms up as you exhale, take the arm bones back. As you inhale, bring the arms all the way overhead. Hook the thumbs, spin the feet straight ahead. Good, and then as you exhale, release the hands down. And step your feet in, give your legs a little shake. And you might need a blanket, might not, so just have one. I'm gonna come seated. So if your low back is tight, your hips are tight, you can sit on a blanket and just have your blocks out of the room. So take your feet, I'm going to sit this way so you can see my legs a little better. Take your feet hip distance and parallel. Bring your hands behind you with your fingers forward. So again, if your low back is rounding behind you, sit on a blanket. Press your feet down and coil your heart up. So as you press your feet down, also press your heels back towards your hips. And take your spine as long as you can. That subtle movement, just feel into your sitting bones, your right and left. In fact, rock maybe right and left to feel. And then connect in the center. Feel both hip bones grounded. Feel your spine lengthening. Press your feet down and slide your heels just slightly back.
You're not going to move, just press them back and feel how that engages your hips a little bit. So you might find you do want to step your foot maybe a half step back and press the feet down and back. You should feel engagement in your inner thighs, your outer hips, maybe even your low back. Just feel into that space. Spin back this way now. As you exhale, let both knees fall over to your right. So your hip will likely lift. You can use your blanket there so that you can feel a sense of ground with both sitting bones grounded with your legs in that position. Take your hands next to your hips and lift up. Good. Take your right hand behind you and take your left hand to the outer side of your right thigh or knee, wherever you reach is fine. But come right back to center. So yes, your hand crosses your body, but your gaze and your torso are still straight ahead. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, feel your feet connect. Take a breath in from your belly to the top, your collarbones. And then as you exhale from your belly, just wring out your spine. So spin the belly, ribs, and chest. Maybe walk that right hand a little more left. Inhale, find length here. And as you exhale, connect both sitting bones, especially that left one, with ground. And take a lengthening in breath here. Good. And then as you exhale, come back to the front. Release your hands, bring both feet up. Anchor your feet, come back to that lengthening in your spine. And then exhale, let both knees go to the other side. So your feet are apart. Your shoulders are over your hips, and just let that right side hip drop. Inhale, find length. Exhale, drop both sitting bones. And then crossing the arm over, but not turning your head, not turning your body. Inhale, lengthen your spine. So let the twist come from your belly. As you exhale, spin your low belly first, and then your ribs and chest. Walk that front hand back. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, maybe twist a little deeper. You're just allowing the body, you're not forcing the body. Doesn't really matter how far you twist. Inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale and twist, again, a sense of just kind of rinsing out, letting go, releasing anything that's not serving. Just let it go. Good. And then inhale, come back to the center and bend your knees up. And then come onto your backs with your knees bent. So have yourself, your ankles under your knees where you can see me. Take your hands next to your hips for a moment. Just press down, coil your shoulder blades under, and let the back of your shoulders settle. And bring your awareness to your feet and your hips. This is a subtle movement. You're going to imagine there's a sticky, let's say, strawberry gum substance underneath your right foot. It's so sticky you can't lift it off the floor, but you're going to try. So as you inhale, try to lift that right foot. It's not going to lift. And then as you exhale, release it. And then the left side, same thing. As you inhale, try to lift it, but that gum is so sticky you can't. And then exhale, release it. And go back and forth on your breath, but trying to lift that foot, but it can't. And notice your hips, your sacrum, your pelvic bowl, and just notice that subtle movement there. And keep going at your pace, your breath. Just alternately trying to lift one foot and then the other while noticing that subtle movement in your hips. Now, next time you get to the right side, just imagine you just break through and lift the foot just a little. And then exhale, lower it down. And go back and forth, pausing in the middle. When you return to the middle, just take a pause. And trying and very barely lifting that foot off the floor. Tuning into that subtle mobility that you get from that lift. Good. Try that one more time on each side, just really subtle lifts. Good. And then land with both feet down now. Bring your arms up so your forearms are parallel to the floor. Lift your feet off the floor so that your shins are parallel to the ceiling. And now as you inhale your breath, just lift your right knee and left elbow, maybe a little towards each other, maybe towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, come down. These are really slow, subtle movements. Right forearm, left shin, and back down. As you move in this way, once again, notice just the slight shift in your pelvic area and your shoulder girdle. And you can kind of move in whatever direction. It might be more up towards the ceiling and back down. It might be more elbow towards the knee. There's no strain here, no strain. So make whatever adjustments, moving in whatever way feels good to you. So there's no strain, and just alternating opposite arm, opposite leg, just moving them a little bit and tuning into the subtleness of the mobility in your pelvis and shoulder girdle. And try that one more time on each side. And then land in the center and draw your hands to your shins, knees towards your chest, chin towards your chest, back of the neck, nice and long. Take a long, deep inhale through your nose. And a long, deep exhale through your nose, connecting once again the back of your body with the floor beneath you. And 2 more breaths like that, really noticing breath, noticing your body, and coming back into the awareness of the back of your body, connecting with the floor. And back into the awareness of the feeling within your body, the feeling within your heart space. And as you exhale your breath and feel the back of your body connecting, just letting anything go that doesn't serve. Release your hold if you're holding your hands. Take your hands either to the back of your thighs, take your shins perpendicular to the ceiling now. And you can either hold your thighs like I'm doing, or if you can reach without strain, you can hold the sides of your feet. If you have a strap nearby, I didn't say to have one, but if you have one and that would facilitate a better release for you, by all means, use a strap across the balls of your feet. And so the back of your body is still on the floor. Give your head a little nod side to side with your chin slightly forward, just to make sure there's no strain in your neck. Then land with your head in the center. Inhale, breath now deep in your low belly, the whole region between your hip bones. Just feel it swelling with breath. And as you exhale, and once again, connecting with ground, and just imagine your thigh bones just rooting all the way down to earth. Of course, you're not going to touch the ground. That's okay. Just on the exhale of your breath, feel that release. Making any subtle adjustments so that you hold this pose with effortless effort, and letting your breath guide your being, your release in this pose. As you inhale Feeling the swelling of breath in your low belly. As you exhale, really connecting with release, softness, letting go. One more in-breath here. And then as you exhale, draw your knees in and give a gentle rock side to side. Bring your feet flat on the floor, hip distance apart. Bring your arms open like a goalpost or cactus. Once again, let your head just rock a little side to side. Chin slightly forward. So it should feel like the back of your head, that feeling of a ball just rolling side to side. Land in the center and then let your knees just shift a little side to side. Tuning in again to the feeling, that rhythmic feeling of your breath in your body and your body in the pelvic bowl region, just rocking on the bowl, the ball of your pelvis, just side to side. And then land in the center. Extend your legs long and let your hips just kind of shimmy a little side to side, like they're kind of in one of those, like a shaker device. Just kind of shimmy them side to side. That brings to image for me, my grandma, when she was probably in her 40s, had one of those slings that hooked to her hips and shook them side to side while she was standing. So just one of those kinds of feelings, that shimmying, and what that does is releases any residual tension in your hips, that space again where our issues are in our tissues, the emotions. You can even try now with that shimmy, alternately extending your heels. A little shimmy again, and then just rest. Let everything be still. For your Shavasana, if you feel more at ease with either a roll under your knees or a little fold under your head. So you're just supporting the cervical curvature of your neck. Just take what you need and then just drop in. Drop into stillness in this position. And drop into the awareness of the back of your body. Connecting with the surfaces beneath you. And feel the back of your head, the back of your shoulders, and the back of your hips, the backs of your arms and hands, the back of your legs and feet. Just let them all release a little more deeply. Letting go a little more deeply with each exhalation of your breath. With your eyes just softly closed. Let your inner gaze tune into the space of your heart. As you inhale, once again, imagine breath is entering your body through the center of your heart. And as you exhale, connecting into the back of your body, maybe even saying the word ease with each exhalation of your breath. As you connect with that ease on the exhale, Connect with the feeling of every part of your body. Releasing, settling deeply beneath you. Exhaling, dropping even all the way down to earth. Inhaling the light of breath in your heart. Exhale with ease. Releasing anything that doesn't serve. Staying with that awareness of breath. Only long enough as you need to until you feel there's nothing left to let go of. As you need that awareness of breath, just inhale lightness in the heart. Exhale, ease and release. And when that's no longer needed, just be in this space of ease. Simply notice ease in your being. And as you're ready to transition out, just very gently bring a hint of awareness back to your body. Wiggling your fingers and toes. And gently bending one knee up and then the other. And rolling over to your right side, resting there for a few breaths. Use your hands for support to keep that feeling of ease in your body as you come back up to a seat. Just sitting with your spine tall, your shoulders soft, your eyes softly closed, your inner awareness completely open. Reflecting on Saucha, simplicity and refinement. Knowing that when we practice Saucha, the body, the thoughts, and emotions become clear reflections of the self within. And bring your hands to Anjali Mudra, just honoring that self within. And bowing in acknowledgement to the universal self within all beings. Namaste. Thank you all for being back here this January